Welcome back to Veteran Revivals. I'm Art, your veteran idiot. This is Private Pile. The old lady helped me push it up in here. She's small but mighty. We got it in and we're ready to get to work on this thing. Had a 300 inline six in it before with a 435 transmission. Transmission's still in there, but we're gonna yank that out. And we're gonna toss in this 460 and that C6 on the floor over there. We had a hell of a time putting this 460 together in the last episode. If you missed it, I highly recommend you go check it out because wow. Every issue we could probably come across, we did. And so now it's time to move on to another chapter in our lives, and that is transplanting this bad dog in there, and hopefully we have no issues at all. I have some motor mounts that are supposed to just bolt right up to these motor mounts, not the actual 300 ones, but the plates on the bottom. So we'll see how that goes. But there should be plenty of room to get all of this in here with the C6. It may be just an issue of length on the C6 compared to the 435, but I'm excited to finally get this thing in here and get it started up. We got a Terminator X sitting over there waiting for us. I bought new sensors that'll go with the Terminator X, and we've got accessory drives from L&L. We've got headers from L&L. This thing is going to be a ripper, I tell you what. We're going to get rid of this factory IAC here. Those of you who are familiar with the Ford IAC, the pulse width modulated one, it is wild. It's all over the place, and the engine mostly just sits there and surges. Not so bad on these large displacement engines, but the little ones, like the 5-liter and such, they just sit there and surge. So it's annoying as hell. I got a stepper IAC off of a Fiesta, which is similar to the GMLS one, and we're gonna throw that on. We're gonna pin it into the harness and be good to go. But all that is way out in the future, because right now we actually have to get this thing put in here. And that's where we're gonna start now. And we gotta yank out that other transmission and transfer case in order to make room, as well as the exhaust and those motor mounts. So the first thing I want to do is get this transmission and transfer case ripped out of here. And the way that you get the shifter off on these 435s is you push down on this top plate and twist, and then it'll pop out and the whole shifter will slide out the top. Some of them have a cap that unscrews, but generally it's a push down and twist and then it pops out. And then we got motor mounts and front and rear drive shafts. I really don't want to take apart the transfer case. If I can get it all out in one piece, that'd be preferred. But I guess we'll see what'd be easiest. And we'll just saws off this exhaust. It ain't gonna do nothing for us in the future because we're getting big dog 3-inch duals out you get it. Come apart like that. All right, got this one out. Now we can sell it, recover some money, but I think the easiest way to get this all back in here is all together. Engine, transmission, and transfer case all together. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to do. Walk it with the jack in there. It's gonna be a lot for this here Harbor Freight cherry picker, but I think it'll do it. I think we'll be okay. Got it off the trailer all in one piece, and moved it around all in one piece, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and get it all bolted up. Get this thing off first. All right, so before I do all of that business, I want to take this off. Maybe my carburetor plate will fit on there and we can lift it that way. Although I'd rather have some stronger bolts, just considering all the weight rather than these little teeny ones. So, but we got to take this off anyways to get the chains around it. And then I'm going to throw some new bolts that I bought for the intake manifold on here and take out all the other crap that's in here. These air temperature sensor, coolant sensor, stuff like that. All that's getting replaced with the Holley stuff. So, and this intake, whew, it needs cleaned out. So let's pop this bad dog off. Hello? Anyone? Nobody? I got it. Ooh, chiwali wali. Bang bang, I don't know what that was. Sounded expansive.
Shrink, shrink, blinkety blink.
Somebody slathered this guy on with 7,000 pounds of RTV, the blue kind. That's okay. Ow! Oh, it hurt. As the once great Salt and Pepper said, shoop-a-doop, shoop-a-doop-a-doop, shoop-a-doop. Profound, I know. Come on over, come on off of there. Wonder how easy it'd be to slap a sniper on there. I'm sure there are kits for it. I'll let somebody else figure that whole business out. I kind of like the multi-port injection, so we're gonna stick with that. Unless you use the carburetor as a blow-through just for the butterflies. Oh, righty then. Oh my goodness, that gasket is literally baked on there. All right, sweet. Also, we picked up some Ford Racing injectors for this, some 42 pounders. So that'll be nice. Was there 6-port EV6? And then I got the adapters again to go to the EV1. Let's get all this other crap off here. You don't belong. Get off. This doesn't fit anything. Get gone. Still don't fit anything. Try and... How about now? No? Wow. It's 1 incher, huh? Air temperature? Actually, I think that was coolant. It was coolant. Intake air temperature? Yep. And we'll leave the oil one in for now, just because I don't want stuff dropping into it. Actually, could have left all of these. What am I doing? Okie doke. I guess we're ready to hang it up. Let's find somewhere to throw this thing. Shoop, shoopy-doop. We'll have to smooth this thing all over the place to get it centered once we get the actual transmission hooked up to it. Too high. Oh yeah. She's a heavy girl. We'll get it in there. Yeah. Yeah. Forget about it. It'll be fine. It's good. Let's get these headers off so we don't scratch them. Could not find bolts for these. We'll have to look again as soon as we get this all put together. Hopefully these just slide in and they won't be an issue. I'm trying to get them between the engine and all that business. Sometimes you gotta lift the engine, so on and so forth, but there should be plenty of room. There's a lot of room over there, but that's without this giant engine sitting in there, so you never know. You never know what you're gonna get. Wow, my whole stand came apart. Glad it didn't happen while I was monkeying around in here. Harbor Freight for the win. First things first, I'm gonna throw this cam plug in before I forget about it. And then flywheel. Don't forget to put the Loctite on the flywheel, fellas. Lots of noise, make you real angry. It's another thing that you would hate to forget. Let's clean this up a little bit. So, executive decision. I've decided to try and stab this first, just to see if the mounts and everything work properly before doing all the transmission and everything. I'm probably gonna swap out the transfer cases and put this transfer case back on that C6, because this one has the appropriate couplers for the drive shafts. That one has a slip yoke. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But first we're gonna try and stab this in here and see if it sits in the way it needs to with the motor mounts that I got, rather than trying to fight all of that at the same time. Okay, go. First I gotta get that motor mount off. Presto. Okie doke. Get some bolts for that guy later, sometime, maybe. Okay, pray for me, gents. There is a very little chance that this will work out, but let's try anyways. Is there any cherry pickers that roll straight anywhere in the nation? Woo, not the pan. This oil filter is gonna have to go away for sure. It's a good thing I got the remote filter for just this occasion. Let's go down. That side down. Well, where are we at? Looks like it is clear. Could do a little tilt, but it is clear all the way around. Sweet mother of Jehovah, this might actually work. Just resetting the chain. Don't freak out. Oh no. Well, these are not close at all on this side where it needs to bolt up. But I think if we threw some bolts in there, it would get us where we need to be. Maybe these motor mounts go the other way. Don't put your hand in any pinch points, folks. I think that motor mount might go the opposite direction, to be honest. Just the way it looks. Could be wrong. This might be the only way it could go on, is the other side. That seems to fit a lot better, although we are seemingly pretty heavy on the pan down here. Okay, I think we got it where we need it as far as going in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up the transmission, take the transfer case off. We'll put this transfer case in there. I think it'd be easier to get up from underneath than try and stab this entire thing in there. But we're also gonna put on the headers loosely to fit them down in there because it's real tight to get them up and out. And that'll get us a better idea if we need a trim or anything else like that. Right now, it looks like there might be some minor trimming on the cross member for the headers, but the transmission's not on and it may tilt the engine up just a little bit more, and that would get rid of that problem. So let's throw the transmission on and then stab it in there. I tell you, this thing does not want to be in this Bronco. Everything I do with this is uphill both ways in the snow. It took me about an hour to get that transmission on there. Torque converter didn't want to line up, didn't want to slide forward. I couldn't get them to line up to get the bolts in. But it's on there. Now we're going to try and dip it down in here and see how screwed we actually are. I think it'll be okay. I don't know. We'll see. And my hoist doesn't want to go in the right direction ever. Here she comes. In she comes. In. This is where it's going to get interesting. Probably going to have to get it down more before I put these headers on. Coming on down. It likes to come down fast because it's heavy. Tell you what, pucker up a little bit. Come on, tilt down, get in there, go on get. Go. Almost there. Set her down some more. Come on, don't hurt my nail. Okay, all right. All right, let's see if we can squeeze these headers down in there into a somewhat usable position. Come on. You can just call me Sir Knocks Everything Over. All right, this one. Yeah. This was the troublesome one, so we'll see where we're at. Well. Let's see if we can get her in there. Doesn't look like it's gonna be a thing with these headers without trimming this cross member. Yep. Okay, we are gonna have to trim that cross member. It is what it is. Is what it is. Looks like this one's gonna clear nicely on this side. Okie dokie. Yeah, we're still struggling, but we're getting through it here. Starting to make a little bit of headway, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter. But I cut this cross member. I know what you're thinking, don't worry. I didn't ruin the integrity. So it was hitting right here on the edge, so all I did was make a little notch and run it down and then level it out. And so the header kind of sits right up here against the pumpkin here, and so it was just hitting. It just needed just a little bit more so we could get down into these grooves for the mounts themselves. So we'll see if that was enough. Okay, round number 425. Yeet, 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 yeet. Holy diver. Been down too long on a midnight sun. All right, headers. My fingers are raw. These things suck to put on. They hurt my fingers. Yeah. Back, come on back. Yeah. Come on back, some more. Yeah. I feel like no matter what you do when you start out with black painted headers, you end up with scratched black painted headers. Masking tape, doesn't matter. Scratched, for show. So I still gotta go get more bolts with the skinnier head on them to finish these off, but it will get them in there and I can get the engine bolted in and we don't have to worry about that no more. Oh, too fast. Way too fast. One pump this time. Are we in? We're in. Are the headers clear? They're clear. Wow. I am happy about that. Sweet. We're in. Good job, everyone that helped. That's right. I'm the only one that did it. All right, let's get this thing out of here so we can start throwing on all the cool stuff. Bolting this bad mamma jamma down. Supernova. So this gasket's got to come off. We'll clean this up a little bit and then the harness and everything will be easy to throw in. Engine's a lot more forward than I had hoped, but I think we'll be okay. Should be good. Time will tell, honestly. The way this pan is shaped and everything, it's kind of like, that's where it's gonna be. You ain't got much else choice, you know? So we'll live with it. Yeah. Need to start getting all these holes covered up before we start accidentally dropping things down in here, especially this one. So we'll go ahead and drop that down in there for now. Got the seal over here somewheres. There it is. Drop this down in here for right now to cover the hole. We'll worry about the timing a little bit later. Here in a little bit, we'll set the timing. I want to get this gasket scraped off, get these things plugged up, get my sensors in so I know what I will and will not use. What I know I will not use is this oil pressure gauge from the factory. So that's going to go bye-bye. That's why I picked up these guys. These are exactly like the Holley ones. Same resistance and everything. And they're plug and play. Put it in, select that you're going to be using a Holley, and it sees it, knows everything it needs to do. So we're not going to make the same mistake we did last time and put in the wrong injectors. So we went straight to Ford Racing, got the Ford Performance 47 pound injectors, EV6 injectors, adapters over there. We'll throw those in real quick. This Holley harness did not come with the manifold air temperature or the coolant temperature sensor, which is odd because the last one did and this one did not. I'm not sure what the story is behind that, but I guess we'll have to find some LS ones. I think the LS ones plug directly into it, and then we should be good, I guess. I don't know. Also, the thermostat neck is missing. I don't think it had one when it came here, so we'll have to track down one of those. But I'm going to throw in these injectors, throw on the fuel rail, and then start working in gaskets and stuff like that. We can get that upper intake plenum thrown on. Clean out any junk down in here. These 24 pounders are junk, and they are like burnt in here. Oh wow, this is gonna be interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Junk. Kobe. Oh my goodness. If you're wondering why I'm throwing away these perfectly good 24 pound injectors, because well, they're not perfectly good. They're junk. That's where they belong. Great googly moogly. Oh, these things have been in here a really long time. Come out of there. Frick. That's another good one there. Last one. Good Lord. They're all out. We got no O-rings left behind. I am winded. Nice. Regulator works pretty good. All right. Let's load in the new injectors. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Oh man, it has been a long day to get this thing in here. Quite the pain. Yeah, it has been a struggle. My back hurts. I should probably go inside and eat some dinner and stuff like that. So we got done is it's on the mounts. I left it loose because we still got to move the cross member for the transmission, and then check the lengths for the drive shafts and throw in the other transfer case. So all that stuff still has to go on. Threw in all the injectors, put in the harness from the Holley kit. I didn't do any of the main harness yet because I'm going to go through the firewall where the old harness was, and I'm going to put it underneath the dash. But the injectors are in, the fuel rail is in. I'm probably going to have to get a 90 for this fuel pressure sensor. It's just kind of up here in the way, so maybe a 90 down here and it'll be just fine underneath the upper intake plenum. I need to get the manifold air temperature sensor and the engine coolant temperature sensor, and I think that's it. The oil pressure is back there. I'm going to put the manual oil pressure one right here. That way the gauges still work. I put in a new sensor here for the gauges on the dash for the coolant sensor, and all that is set up. The TFI harness is on. I didn't run it to a coil yet because I need to get a coil, and then it needs mounted and all that other stuff. So all that is good to go. Need to get the bolts for the headers and put the gaskets in, but it is crammed in there. It's surprisingly, there's a ton of room back here, like a ton of room back there, which is kind of concerning. I feel like the engine needs to go back, but it's probably going to get electric fans anyways. The core support's right here. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. We may have to do something else with the engine mounts sooner rather than later, but it is in there and it looks awesome. But that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to do the harness and everything else in the next episode, as well as the mounts and the transfer case, all that business. So thank you for watching me. You missed out on a lot of the struggle because it was, well, boring. And I was swearing a lot, and you can't get monetized when you're swearing a lot. So you missed out on all that stuff, but you didn't miss out on where we got so far. And I appreciate you guys for sticking around for that. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun. Need some pizza.